this video is all about logarithm with different bases. So if you have any issues with that, we are going to solve at least 3 questions or 4 questions here, so make sure that you stay to the end of this video. Now this is the question. The first question says that find the value of log 27 base 3 plus log 16 base 4 minus log 64 base 8. So you can see clearly that the bases are different, right? So this is base 3, this is base 4, and then this is base 8. Okay, if you are new here, maybe you may consider subscribing to the channel or check the playlist down below how we explain the meaning of the logarithm, the importance of the logarithm, for you to have a fair idea on what logarithm is about in the real life. Now, how do you start solving this question? Now, your key here is to make sure that, okay, those of you who have already watched our short video, maybe you are okay with that, but if you are watching this thing for the first time, let's say this is normally what I use. Log of a success here, log is equal to what? Is that okay? What does it mean? What does it mean? What it means here is that the base here is your starting point. That is where you are starting. So you want to achieve success in life. I don't know which success you want to achieve here. So maybe let's say you want to be successful in mathematics. Let's limit ourselves to that. So it means that you are starting with success. You don't need to spend more than so many hours, an amount of time before you can achieve your success, because you already started with success. So log of a success base success here, that is just equal to 1. Is that okay? Because you're already starting with your success. What it means here is that when I raise success here, success into 1 is the same as what success here. So the answer here is equal to what? Your success, right? So bringing the idea to the mathematical field here is what? Having the idea of log of the same number, log 3 base 3 is equal to 1. That is the definitions of what we are saying, that log of the same basis is equal to 1. Is that okay? Now this is what we are going to use in solving this particular problem here. So what are you going to do? You have to make sure that this is a base 3. You have to try and see if you can get 3 out of here, out of this 27. For sure we can easily get that's going to be log of 3 exponent 3. Is that correct? So 3 exponent 3 will be 27, right? And then the base 3. What 3 exponent 3 means here? 3 multiplied by 3 and then multiplied by 3. Is that okay? 3 by 3 and then by 3. Is that okay? This by that should be 9, by 3 that should be 27. Exactly what the number here is, right? So here to the same thing, plus what? Maybe I guess you should pause this video and try that, right? Okay, so maybe congratulations for just trying, right? So here 16 here will be 4 exponent 2 and then base 4. Remember this 4 here I'm looking at, you have to make sure that you are checking the number at the base here. So the base is what is pushing me to make this thing to be 4. Obviously this is 3 base 3, that's why I say 3 exponent 3, right? So minus, so what do you think here will be? Log of what? 8 exponent 2 base 8. Is that okay? Now here's the second rule of what logarithm, or maybe our next rule in this video says that if you are carrying a baby on top of you, for sure you are going to drop this baby down. Is that okay? So dropping this baby down somewhere along the road means that 3 log 3 and then base 3. Obviously the exponent goes down. That is one properties of a logarithm. If you are not okay with any of the properties or the laws of the logarithm, just make sure that you comment in the comment section. This guy also goes down. That should be 2 log of 4 base 4 and then minus 2 here, right? So minus 2. Obviously this guy goes down, log of 8. So we are free to go down, because we know that log of the same base here is just equal to 1. So that should be 3 multiplied by 1 plus 2 multiplied by 1 here, and then minus 2 multiplied by 1. So what do you think the answer to this thing will be? Why don't you comment your answer in the comment section below for us to know that you are following? Is that okay? There are more questions here, so make sure that once again you stay here today. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share the video for us to upload more videos like this. if log s base 2 plus log h1 base 3 equal to 1, we want to find the values of x, right? So now, let's get back to the basic steps here. So now I say s plus 1 equal to 2. Obviously, the values of this x here is just going to be equal to 1, right? If you think there's any number that we can add to 1 to get 2, make sure that you give us the answer in the comment section below, right? So but in the field of logarithm, what do you think what will be the values of the x here before this equation here can hold? So okay, that is all that we are going to do in this video. But where are you going to start? Remember, where you are, you have to obey the rules of where you are living, right? Every country has some of the rules that is governing the country. That's why you need to obey the rules of those things. So what are some of the rules of the logarithm we are going to obey in this particular question here? Now, from the previous examples that we solve, always if you just try to check if you can change this number here to switch the base here, which is very simple. Your starting point for this question here. So we have a log of s and then base 2 plus, what do you think? It should be log of log base 3. Remember, this here must be 3 because of the base here. 3 exponent or exponent 4 here, everything is just going to be equal to 1, because 3 exponent 4, that will be 81 like this. Is that okay? So perfect. So what are we going to do? I guess if you watch the last or the previous question, you should be able to understand this thing here, right? So log 3 base 3, is that okay? That is just going to be equal to 1. Don't hesitate to comment down below if you have a question. Is that okay? So perfect. We have log s base 2 here plus this tends to be 4. Everything is just going to be equal to 1, right? Because log of the same base, that is just going to be equal to 1. Well, what will happen if you move from this side? It means that we are going to have log of s base 2, that's going to be equal to 1 minus 1, because this is a number and then this is also a number. So we want to group them on one side of the equation. So we have log of s base 2, that is equal to be -3. Is that okay? Now, what is the meaning of the logarithm? That is where you need to know the meaning. You see, if you are new here, you are missing a lot. Just make sure that you subscribe once again to the channel so that you don't miss a valuable content like this. We've already explained the meaning of the logarithm, so consider checking that. So this is how the pattern goes for an explanation purpose here. This is how it goes. It goes like this. Is that okay? So always your success is here. What you are looking for is here. This is always your starting point, and then this is what the effect, the cause, what brings the success. Is that okay? So if you start here, how many times do I need to go before I can achieve my success, right? So that is very simple. So mathematically, what you mean is that this is the base. You are starting from here, and then you need to go into a negative 3 here before you can achieve the x success here, right? Is that okay? Is that not very simple for you to calculate? So let's start from this point here. So from here, I can rewrite this guy to be s equal to 2 raised to the power -3. It's the same thing because of the equal to sign here, right? Okay, perfect. So this guy here, what will be the values of this thing here? That should be s go to -8, right? If I ignore this negative here, I'm going to have 8, right? So if you add a negative to that, that should be negative. So it means that 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by, but there's a negative here, right? Okay, perfect. So this guy can be written as this guy here can be written as 1. This should be 8 raised to the power -1, right? Because of the negative sign here, yeah? So this guy can be written as 8 over 1. Is that okay? So this is the values of x. So if you plug this x here into this logarithm equation here, this thing will hold, right? Why don't you try it and see? We want to find the values of this logarithm expression here without using a calculator or table. That is what the question is saying here. Now, you can see once again the bases are different. So this is base 3, this is base 114, this is base 3. Okay, what are you going to do here? So you just have to look at each member one by one. So what I mean by each member, one by one here, you see this is one member, this is another member, and then this is another member, and then decide on what to do at what each member. So here, this is a very simple one. So this guy can be written as 3 exponent 3 here. We know where we are heading towards to, because the 27 count is the same as 3 exponent 2 exponent 3 here. But here, in this case here, what are you going to do here? There's no number here. Remember, the trick here for this 3 here is coming from the base here. Okay, but here 1 on 4, we cannot have 1 on 4 raised to any power to have a 64. By the way, if you know any number like that, why don't you help us in the comment section below? Is that okay? If that number hold, then you are free to go. If it doesn't exist like that, then this is what you are going to do. You are going to apply change of base on this particular side, right? On this particular logarithm question here. So what are you going to do? This guy here, only this one will tends to be log of what 64 over log of what 1 on what on 4. Is that okay? So that's how you are going to write this particular. If you cannot get a base here raised to any power to have the number here. Okay, in this case, what are we going to do here? So down here, all that we are going to do at the down here is to make sure that can we have a number here. If you raise to the power, we are going to have 1 on 81 here, right? So this 1 on 81 here, see this is something you have to pay attention to. So 1 on 2 is the same as 1 raised to the power negative 2, right? So these two people are twins, right? So they are the same. So this 81, 1 on 81 here can be written as log base 3 81 raised to the power negative 4. Is that okay? Right? Are you okay with that? Okay, if you are okay, then it means that it's so. Let's ignore the negative 1 for the midterm. So can we have a 3 raised to the power any number to have a 81? Obviously that is true, right? So 3 raised to the power 4 will give us what 81. Is that okay? Remember there's a negative here, so we just need to add a negative to that so that we are free to go. Now this is all that we are going to do. So all this thing here tends to be everything here, this is what we are having, tends to be log 3 exponent 3 base 3 minus log of 64 log 1 on 4, everything divided by log of 3 exponent 4 and then base 3. Is that okay? So what are we going to do next here? So with these guys here, we know that the 3 goes down, negative 4 also goes down, so it's left with this party, right? So from here now it's going to be 3 log of 3 and then base 3 minus log of 64 on log of 1 on 4, everything divided by negative 4 log of 3 and then base 3. Is that okay? Okay, I guess you know the values of the guy here, and then you know the values of, so this here is just going to be 3, and then this here also tends to be negative 4. Do you agree? If you agree, just comment yes in the comment section below to this third question here, right? So you just write question number 3 yes. Okay, if you are not okay to, you just pause the video and ask me how I got this thing from this particular stage here. So we'll be glad to assist you. Now our headache will be this guy here. So can we do something about this logarithm here? So for sure we can do something here. Is that okay? So what can we do here? So 64 here can just be written as log of 4 exponent 3. Is that correct? So 4 by 4 and then by 4. This by this, that should be 16. 16 by 4, that should be 64. You agree? Okay, what about it down here? So down here can be written as log of, remember what I just said in some few seconds ago, so that should be 4 exponent to negative 4. Is that okay? Okay, now so everything here tends to be 3 minus log of 4 exponent 3. Why don't you switch this guy straight forward, because now you guys are masters now, so that should be 3 everything divided by this will give me negative 4, right? So negative 4, right? But remember, there's one guy at the top here, so let's make sure that you do that systematically. So you remember this guy here tends to be -1. So everything divided by -1 log 4. Do you agree? So for this guy, so that is for the top. So everything divided by -4, right? Okay, so if that is the case, what is happening here? So what will be our next step here? That is the point. You can see this log 4 here will cancel this log 4, right? This is just like we are saying that -3x divided by -1x. Can you see the x here goes away, right? So that is the key there. So here you are just going to have, we are going to have, what are we going to have here? So you can see the negative here will just cancel the negative here. So don't do that mistake by cancel this negative to that. That is a very simple mistake to do at this stage here. So the order we are dealing with this. Okay, so if I were you, I'll put this thing in bracket to avoid any confusion here. So here the top is just going to be 3 minus this minus here. So 1 on -1 will tend to be negative. 3 on -1 will tend to be on -3. Everything divided by -4. Are you there? So with the brackets here, we are having -3. So the answer to this thing here, these two people will give us 6 and divided by -4, and then the answer to this thing is going to be -3 on what, on 2. Right? So this is what our final answer to the logarithm expression that we see earlier on. For any further question, don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below, right? We'll be glad to assist you on that. If you have any difficulties on any of the topic, why don't you just comment in the comment section below for help.